Hi, everyone, and welcome to The Balancing Act. And let's introduce you to our guest today, Jennifer Carraway. Good to see you, my friend.
So good to see you. Thanks for having me.
I love seeing you because it means that we get to hug and say hello. And thank you for coming.
No, I appreciate you. Throughout the years, your support of our mission, I'm super grateful.
No, this is so great. So you have a brand new cookbook out. Tell us more about this.
Yes, so that is our, what is it called? Meals That Matter, and it's our second cookbook, and we collaborated with some of our volunteers and some of our clients, some of our supporters and diner meals, client meals, and we created this cookbook that was just released, and we have 100% of the proceeds funding our mission.
Yeah, I love this. And the Joy Bus is more than just a diner or a mission. How did this whole idea begin? You have quite the story.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's been like 15 years. Crazy.
Long time.
Yeah. The whole idea started when my friend Joy became ill with ovarian cancer. And I wanted to show her how much I cared about her. So I started creating little meals and stopping by and just wrestling her arm to get some FaceTime with her. And it was that inspired me to create this for maybe people that didn't have the same support system that Joy had.
And then it really blossomed into something so beautiful.
Yeah.
It started with Joy. And then when did you realize, hey, this is something that I could expand?
It was that moment that I tried to find somebody that could deliver her food when I couldn't. And when I realized that there was no other organization out there, then I just decided to create it. Because why not? A single mom with 2 kids and 3 jobs. Why not just create something? But, it's been super cool. It's been an amazing journey. The diner came as a result of the mission. We were looking for a way to bring the public into what we're doing and feel ownership of the mission.
So then it branches out. And where does this whole idea of having a diner pop in?
I was just looking for a way to cut costs. Like I thought if I had a diner and opened it to the public, then as the mission producing all these meals to deliver, we wouldn't have to pay rent. It was a bit aggressive and maybe naive on my part, but it created community and it's amazing.
So the first diner that you opened was right off the 51 in Shea.
Yes.
And now you're in this bigger space.
Yes, we went from about 1,300 square feet to I think we're about 6,700 square feet now. It's huge, but the cool thing is the diner part of it didn't really expand much. We still have about 40 something seats, but the commercial kitchen, we went from 500 square feet to about 5,000 square feet.
And that really was as well a bit of a community effort. Because you also petitioned to the community, hey, this is your space. Come help us build this.
Yeah, and we were fortunate enough that the community stepped up and they built it, and it's amazing and it's beautiful and shiny, but best part about the way it looks is great, but we've been able to grow the program. We've been in the building for about 6 months. We were doing 250 meals when we got into the building. Today, we delivered 1,800 meals.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
Isn't that crazy?
Do you think back 15 years ago and you think, wow, we've come a long way?
I wish I was the type of person that could sit back and be like, this is so cool.
You don't have time to do that.
Right? Look what we did. But I have my hands in so many things trying to ensure that we still are here 15 years from now. And it's hard and, and there's a lot that still needs to be done.
What is, when you think about all the little things that have had to happen, are you amazed at all, though, that it's all come together by the work of volunteers primarily?
Oh, yeah. I mean, our volunteers, we have over 200 volunteers. So they work in the diner, they work making the meals, they work delivering the meals. It's 100% delivered by volunteers. Our volunteers are the reason that we're here still.
Yeah. And where do the recipes come from?
In the beginning, they were all of my recipes, but now I have an amazing team who steps up. We have U of A interns that are registered dietitians. It's a very collaborative effort now, and I'm very thankful for that.
So when you say they were all of your recipes, you were just jumping in the kitchen, to take care of Joy. And do you still use some of those recipes at home? Is it still kind of a part of your nightly routine?
We still use the recipes like often. And I love to make them at home. I just love food. I mean, I wake up every single day and I'm like, what do I get to eat today?
Is there something about when you think back, Joy's legacy? What would she say about what's been built?
She would be stoked. She would be there every day helping. That's just the kind of selfless person she was, which is why I'm so inspired by who she was as a human being, that it just makes me feel so good to be able to give.
And there's something so incredible, I think, also about what friendships can do and how they can blossom into something bigger. This whole thing came out of you just wanting to hang out with Joy a little bit more. And then next thing you know, it grows. And how many cookbooks do you guys have now? Is this the second one?
This is the second one.
The second one, because I do have the first. Oh. And it's amazing that it grows in such a way and you have so much support.
We wouldn't be here without it. I honestly don't even know how we've made it this far because it's hard and you're literally dependent on people being kind to support you because and going from 250 meals to 1,800 meals.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's a $15 meal charge. Not that we charge that, but that's what we value it at. And to be able to come up with that extra revenue to be able to support the growth of the program is really hard.
What does that tell you when you think about how many more meals you're having to produce? What does that tell you about the people who need the meals? Like those number of people, they're either finding out about you or there's more people who really need the help.
People need the help, especially in Arizona. I think it's 1 in 8 households suffers from food insecurity. And so we're not only addressing that, but like with a cancer diagnosis, maybe you don't necessarily want to eat or you don't have the means to go buy food or the means to prepare it for yourself. So it's a huge need, the one that we're fulfilling.
And so is this, are you delivering meals to people who are healing or primarily, or is it anybody?
We're delivering meals to people who are going through treatment from cancer. All ages, all economic groups.
And all over the valley.
All over the valley.
How many drivers do you have?
Oh my goodness, you should see it. It's so cool. Oh my gosh, and we have a birthday captain, so we just sent out a birthday bag today.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, so if you come in the restaurant like on a Wednesday or a Thursday, like there's probably 60 volunteers at one time getting ready to pick up meals and go to the client's home.
Oh my goodness.
It's magical. And they sit with them and they care about them. It's just, they take ownership of the mission.
And we talk lightly about the fact that it was really you and Joy that this whole thing was birthed, but there really is a lot of work behind the scenes. You have a board who kind of helps you kind of plan ahead and talk about funding and things like that.
Yeah, we actually have our annual retreat next week, and I'm very much looking forward to that because I need the help. And, I have strong team members that help. Actually, we recently just founded a Food is Medicine coalition.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and so we're trying to advocate for legislature to where maybe we can bill directly for these meals so that other nonprofits can benefit by waivers being amended, by advocacy for food as medicine, and we as a community can help feed that need.
That's it's so important and interesting that you mentioned that, because when you look at read lots of studies and you watch documentaries, and it talks about if we ate better and watched what we put into our mouths, maybe that would change how we feel throughout the day and change whether or not our body was able to fight off whatever it needs to fight off.
Agreed. I'm in that camp.
Yeah. I love myself some chicken tenders, but
in moderation.
In moderation. So let's chat about the Food is Medicine and that whole initiative. It's kind of birthed now. It just continues to grow. And what is kind of the next step with that?
Yeah, so actually I've been part of a national organization, the Food is Medicine Coalition, based out of New York and Boston for about a decade. I saw the movement in other states. I visited other states that have this initiative in place. So I gathered with some co-founders, a bunch of people that were interested, and we had our inaugural summit yesterday, and it went smashingly amazing.
Oh, wow.
And there's a huge need. Everybody was in the room that needed to be in the room, and we've all agreed that this is the direction we need to run, and we're putting a plan together on how to advocate so that food-focused nonprofits, food banks, healthcare providers can be able to come together and understand the value of food.
So when we're taking a look at those other states, how do their programs run?
The majority of them are run because they have an 1115 waiver in place, which might be super boring for people to hear about. But Arizona has an 1115 waiver in place, but there is not a food component, only a housing component. So it would be easier for us, since we already have that waiver, to add a food component. This is what I'm trying to convince access of in our legislatures. And then we can be able to bill directly to Medicaid and Medicare for the food that we're delivering to the clients.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's possible. It's possible.
And so do you have right now people working at the state legislature to speak with those lawmakers about how to get this to happen?
We do, and we've been having conversations for a couple years now, and it's all received very well. So it's just making sure it gets across the finish line.
Did you ever think that you would be working at the state legislature? I mean, or working on these initiatives. It's amazing.
It's insane, but it's necessary. And I really don't see food-focused nonprofits being sustainable without that support. And we're providing a service, and there should be reimbursement, and it shouldn't come from the client. But no, I never... Oh my God. No, I'm grateful to be here and surprised as anyone.
and really and grateful to have that board that's able to, maybe they're the ones that are a little bit more educated in how to work with lobbyists and how to contact state lawmakers and deal with that whole thing.
Oh yeah. And we're very fortunate too. Right now there's a grant between ASU and Virginia Piper Foundation, and they've been sending us interns who are in school for policy or in school for marketing. And so that grant has given us students who can do a lot of the legwork as well.
Oh, wow. And then they can work on maybe crafting something that you can take. What have you learned from the process?
That surround yourself with smart people, because you can't do everything.
Oh, my goodness.
And I have a lot of smart people around me, thank goodness.
Oh, my goodness. It does take a lot of smart people around a table to make something really incredible happen.
Agreed.
It's been so impressive to watch kind of your progression and the success that you've had. It's been so great. Congratulations. Yeah, it's been so fun. You are a brand new grandma.
I am.
We were just chatting about it.
I am. She's so perfect. It's so cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us more about her. What's her name?
Serafina.
Okay.
Yes, and she's perfect.
You have
Smiley.
2 children as well.
I do. Sinai and Areli.
What was that like as a mom to do all of this and to still be a mom and work and have another job and do all those things?
It's super funny because my son, now that he's a father, asked me that a couple of weeks ago. He's like, how did you do it? He's like, we have 2 parents. Like, it's hard. And I guess, and I explained to my son, I said, you don't realize when you're in it because you don't know any other life. So you just have to put your head down and run. And my kids have been instrumental in the growth of the Joy Bus because they were my first volunteers. Unwillingly, but you're
like, you're coming with me. Let's go.
Exactly. So they helped me make all the initial meals. They helped me deliver all the meals. They've been core to the mission of the Joy Bus.
How important do you think, and you've watched kind of that seed, I guess, that you've sown in your children. How important is that? Is service to the community, service to others? It began really as making a meal for your friend, but then it grew. How important is that, do you think, now that your children are older and you have a grandbaby, to raising children?
Oh, I think it's key. And I think that's one of the reasons we have so many volunteer opportunities for children at the Joy Bus, because as a parent, I would always look for volunteer opportunities for them. And there was very few and far between for anyone under 14.
Exactly.
And I think it's crucial that they understand how to participate and how to give back to their community. And so we have that. We have mother and daughter opportunities. We have father and son opportunities, so they can come in and show their children children how good it feels to contribute to their community.
Well, and I think when you walk in and you sit down at the table and you have a meal, then you can see that the children are there and other people are there also working.
Exactly. It's so cool to see because they care and they're there. I mean, some are there because their parents told them to be there.
Yeah, you're coming.
But they get it and they see and they get to feel how good that feels.
Is there anything, anytime you see success, there are times of challenge. You think, oh, wow, we've really made it, or we're really growing, or, you're working at the state legislature now with getting some initiatives passed. But there's some pretty challenging things. So what are some of the challenging moments that you've had in the growth of the Joy Bus?
There's been a lot. I mean, number one, I would have to say funding, which is why I'm shocked that we're still here. Because as a nonprofit, it's very hard to get funding. And when you do get grants, here's a one-time deal for a grant. Like, it's very hard to get those multiple year grants so that you can breathe for several years. It's very hit and miss. And we never know, quite honestly, like 3 months from now, if we have enough funding to go 3 months further. And it's like that all the time. It's a struggle.
It's like living really like paycheck to paycheck. You
Exactly.
think, okay, I'm going to get paid for the next 9 months, and then we have to figure it out.
Exactly. And a lot of funders, they look and they say, well, we only want a certain percentage of admin expenses and a certain percentage of operations. But at the end of the day, we are a business and we need to operate like a business, which means you need to hire professionals that are good at those areas within your organization to function effectively. And I think a lot of nonprofits have that same struggle.
So what was your job before you started Joy Bus, before this became your job?
Well, I've always worked in restaurants and I've owned several restaurants. I've done consulting for restaurants. I've done vendor resources for restaurants. It's always been in the restaurant industry.
And so was this kind of a no-brainer for you when you saw the transition with Joy Bus?
It was. I had a very intelligent board at the time who said that's a horrible idea because restaurants are risky.
You're like, I'm doing it anyway.
Well, I asked nicely, but it really did make sense for our mission. And what just happened according to this was that we've created a community center now, and people come in and they can order a Reuben sandwich and know that 100% of the proceeds fund something bigger than them.
Yeah.
And I don't think the average person has that paycheck that to be able to just go and give a huge check to a big organization, so they don't ever get to feel what it feels like to give. And so now they can just come in the diner and get a cheeseburger and they know what it feels like to give.
When you all on your drivers are delivering those meals after what is that like for them? What are some of the stories you can share if something that comes to mind? I can't even imagine what it's like. So rewarding to know that you're taking someone a meal. We do for years when our kids were little, we did the Salvation Army drop off. Now that they're older, we do the dinner and we all go down to the Phoenix Convention Center. But it was such an amazing experience to hand over the meals to someone who you knew was spending the holiday alone.
Yeah, and that really is a testament to our volunteers. I mean, because we had, just to give you an example, we had this man that we were feeding a few years ago, and he was alone. He had no one checking up on him. The only time he left was to go to doctor's visits, and that's not uncommon.
Yeah.
And the volunteer that started going and delivering him, I mean, he started going on off days. He went and brought him to his church. When he ended up getting better and moving, this volunteer got a team of volunteers together and went and packed up his house and helped him relocate. But this is not a unique situation.
Yeah.
I mean, our volunteers will go in on the weekends and hang curtain rods, go to the hospital if they happen to not be home during delivery time. And this isn't my direction. This is literally good people just being good people.
Yeah. When you look back at some of those items, it's interesting. It started obviously as a meal, but it's grown into something so much more. And you mentioned something when the man healed. So some of these people are going through treatment and they're not terminal, but they will get better.
Yeah, and then we see them as volunteers.
Oh my goodness.
Which is so cool because then they get to deliver a meal and they get to go into someone's home and give them that hope that they had when somebody came to visit them.
Oh my goodness. What an amazing, you've provided this space for people to come full circle.
It's so cool to see. It is so cool to see. I mean, anyone who's out there who just wants to see magic needs to come like to the diner around 10:30 on a Thursday, and you get to see these selfless humans pick up these bags and go to people's homes, and it's so amazing that this exists.
So they do it they come and they pick up the meals on Thursday morning. They get their driving route, right? Is it the same driving route every week with the same volunteer?
That's such a good question. They do not get more than 2 homes to visit.
Okay.
And we are probably 87% on track to be delivering to the same person every single week, because we want them to build that relationship. We want our clients to understand that their community is there for them, and this relationship is growing because of that reaction.
Wow, it's so amazing. And so when they deliver those, is it once a week? Or?
It is once a week, and right now we're on the way to delivering a week's worth of food with each delivery. Right now, as of this week, we delivered 3 entrees, 2 salads, a breakfast, and 3 snacks. So each drop, that's what they'll get.
And so you said you have a chef or someone who works on some of these.
Yes.
Yes, and they're like nutritionists.
Well, we have our chefs, and then we have RDNs, the registered dietitians, who look over all of our recipes and make sure that everything contains what it should for the client's best interest.
And so what are you, because someone who maybe or let me ask you this, is it the same if someone is healing from ovarian cancer as someone who's healing from like lung cancer?
No and yes. Another great question. And that's why we put several components into each dish. So there's always something that will benefit someone, because we don't have the manpower to specifically tailor each individual dish towards your diagnosis. So we try to include enough variety so that there's something for everyone.
Yeah. And so then each of those people get a good healthy meal.
Correct.
And so you have dietitians, you also have a chef, and they work hand in hand to create the meals.
Nothing can go out unless the dietitian has approved it.
And you're in your new space right now,
Yes.
which is great because you needed the kitchen, the coolers, the heaters, right?
Correct. I mean, literally from 500 square feet to 5,000. It's so cool. And like we have huge walk-ins where we can put stuff. It is amazing.
And you know what's great, I think, too? It's interesting. You were right off the 51 in Shea, State Route 51, and then you literally moved to the other side of the freeway.
We did. Which is cool. We have a new neighbors, and it's another, but we're still part of the community.
Yeah, you're still in that same area. There was a little bit of a hiccup when you were building out and you needed help.
Yeah, there was a huge hiccup. We sent out to raise $5.2 million to build out the whole building. We only raised 3.1, which was a huge hiccup. So we had to pause construction. We were able to raise a little more money, but our contractor, he's a saint. And so we're on a payment plan with our contractor. And thank God, because he just finished construction for us. And he's just, so if you ever need a contractor, G4 Builders, shout out. But he's just the nicest human on the planet. But it's people like that in the community that see the value that we bring, and the people that raised the money prior to that, they saw the value as well. And we wouldn't be here without their support.
Well, and I think it's, we need to go to the BBB and we need to put on some positive comments for that company. That is incredible. I don't know if I've ever heard that before.
Right.
Where you're able to be on a payment plan with a contractor.
He just saw the value in what we were doing.
That is incredible.
Right.
So you're on a payment plan with him. Everything else is done in the building?
It's done. It's beautiful. It's so pretty. Oh. Yeah. We're very pretty.
So when you take a look at the future, when you take a look at, a lot of people will take my 5-year plan, my 10-year plan. What do you see in the future for you or Joy Bus or where it's going?
I see in the future that all of the people that we met yesterday at our inaugural Food is Medicine Summit get together. We push for good legislature that backs this movement. And I see us delivering across the entire state. I want to be in Tucson. I want to be in Flagstaff. I want to be on the reservation. There's a huge need for the entire state to receive this service, and we'll get there.
And I think you bring up an interesting point with some of our reservations around the state. A lot of times they have limited access to food. You could even say that they're in a food desert in some parts of the state. And you have doctors who go there to work in their hospitals, but a lot of times they don't have access access to good, healthy food.
Exactly. And we can make the food, and we will get it there. We will. I'm determined.
Does that mean then building out maybe, like, for example, you have the Navajo Nation and the Hopi Reservation and the High Country. Does that mean then building out a kitchen maybe in Flagstaff or something?
Yes. You're in my head. So the idea as of today, which we may pivot from once we get to that point, is to find these partner hubs across the state that would be willing. We have a couple right now, one in the East Valley and one in the West Valley. We'll deliver all the food there, and then their volunteers will deliver the food to our clients.
Amazing.
So that's our idea for right now. If we can find those partners across the state, then we just need to get the food there, and then from there we can spread out.
Awesome. Jennifer, thank you for your time today.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. The Joy Bus Cookbook, Jennifer Carraway. Thank you for watching.